Greetings, friends. Today you will hear a short retelling of a romantic comedy about two girls who decide to not only exchange their homes, but also their boyfriends. Let's start watching the movie. At the beginning of the movie, Iris talks about how love is blind, and it's hard to know who you choose as your life partner. Amanda's thoughts are similar. She says that love can disappear at any moment, even if everything was fine. Iris, on the other hand, considers unrequited love to be the cruelest kind of love. The heroine tells how for 3 years she was in love with a man who caused her only suffering. At a corporate New Year's Eve party, Iris is chatting with her friend Hannah. The woman notices how the heroine is watching Jasper closely and reminds her that he was only taking advantage of her, so she shouldn't try to start over. Upon learning that Iris continues to be friends with her ex-boyfriend after the betrayal, Hannah is angry and says it's disrespectful. However, the conversation is interrupted as the heroine needs to finish an article in the wedding newspaper column. Jasper comes to Iris and admires her present, calling the girl extraordinary. However, the director of the company soon announces the engagement of a man to another employee, which breaks the heroine's heart. Iris returns to her cozy little cottage and cries, trying to get over the loss and heartbreak. The action shifts to Amanda's house. The girl quarrels with her husband Ethan because of his infidelity. The man criticizes her in return, believing that she devotes too much time to work. According to him, because of this, the house turned into an editing studio. Having knocked out Ethan's confession of infidelity, and it was more than once, the girl loses her temper and throws the man out of the house. After that, Iris goes to work and revises the maid trailer. The girl wants to go on vacation for a couple of weeks and chooses England for this. Most of all, Iris likes the proposal with Amanda's cottage. The heroine meanwhile suffers greatly and even tries to take her own life. Amanda's messages give her hope for a reset and a vacation from all her problems. The girls enthusiastically correspond, realizing that such a chance to relax in another country may no longer be. On the plane, Iris receives a message from Jasper, who congratulates her on vacation and specifies how they can get in touch. The heroine tries to come to her senses and replies that she is trying her best to fall out of love with him. Arriving in Los Angeles, Iris is amazed by the nature and atmosphere that surrounds her. When she sees her new home, she is even more delighted. Amanda, on the other hand, spreads out her things in Iris's small house and tries to get used to other driving rules. The first trip goes extremely hard, and the girl decides to have a few drinks. Amanda buys some delicious food and spends the evening in front of the TV, where she sees her trailer. After that, the girl lights the fireplace and turns on the speakers. Miles, who used to work with Ethan, arrives at Iris' house in the morning. The man asks when he can meet Amanda and is upset to learn that the girl is absent. Miles tells her that he writes music, and Iris, hearing his composition playing in the car, becomes enthralled. The heroine has a hard time readjusting after the time zone change, but the thick automatic blinds help her sleep. Amanda, meanwhile, also tries to go to bed, but this is interrupted by the appearance of Graham, who introduces himself as Iris's brother. The girl is delighted by the man and starts to make up. Graham tells her that lately he has been frequenting the bar and then sleeping at his sister's. Amanda responds by saying that she wants to fly back tomorrow, as the vacation is a bliss. Suddenly the man kisses her, but the girl does not feel disgust, but rather the opposite. Amanda suggests that Iris's brother take up night games, since they will never see each other again, and will owe nothing to each other. In the morning, the characters behave somewhat confused. Amanda offers to drink coffee, but the man regretfully informs her that he has to go. Graham is sincerely interested in the girl, so he invites her to the pub in the evening, in case she suddenly changes her mind about going home. Amanda drops off her things at the airport, but thinks about Iris's brother. Meanwhile, the heroine herself wakes up in a huge bed and is excited about her new home, albeit for a couple weeks. Her fun is interrupted by a call from Jasper. The man asks for help with his article, after which he recalls their unforgettable picnic, but almost immediately hangs up. Graham is having fun in a pub with his friends, carefully looking out for Amanda in the crowd, who soon comes into his field of vision. Iris, on the other hand, while driving around, notices an elderly man she has seen with the caregivers before. The heroine decides he is lost and stops to help. Iris turns out to be right and takes the man to his house. Arthur Abbott tells her that their meeting is very much like a staged meeting in a movie. Iris learns that the man used to write scripts and worked in this field. The heroine helps Arthur into the house and looks at his awards. Iris realizes that the man is very lonely and invites him to dinner. Arthur tells her that by a happy coincidence he started working in Hollywood at the age of 17. Iris talks about her worries, and the man helps her feel that things will get better. Meanwhile, Amanda wakes up after a fun night of partying. Graham tells her that nothing happened between them, but it was at her request that he stayed. The man gets a call from Sophie, and Amanda remembers that a similar call from Olivia came before. Back at the house, Graham suggests they go into town and socialize. Over lunch, the man reveals that he works as an editor at a magazine and studied literature at university. Graham explains that this is their family tradition. Amanda in turn tells him that she was very traumatized by her parents' divorce and has since learned not to cry and to be strong. Graham in return tells that he can cry from any touching event. The couple are having a great time and have a lively conversation. After dinner, the heroes take a walk and only return home in the evening. Amanda admits that she had a wonderful time, but in 9 days she has to return to normal life and leave England. Meanwhile, Miles comes to visit Iris and gives her a response to comments on the article from Jasper. The man hears a noise and learns that Arthur decided to amuse the heroine, so he brought his friends and made a party. During the party, Iris learns that his neighbor had a beautiful wife, from whom he wrote off almost all of his heroines. Arthur notices that sympathy is developing between Miles and the heroine, so he decides to leave, bringing his buddies with him. The pair discuss their neighbors' movies and decide to watch one together sometime. Meanwhile, Amanda decides to visit Graham, but longingly discovers that he is not dining alone. Unexpectedly, the girl meets Sophie and Olivia, the children of her new friend. Graham invites Amanda inside and swears he's not married. In fact, he's been a widower for 2 years and is raising 2 daughters alone. Amanda sympathizes with him and decides to stay for a hot chocolate with everyone. Graham amuses the girls and his guest by wearing a napkin as a mask. Olivia and Sophie decide to show Amanda their marquee, which she comes to love. The girls offer to let her stay and spend the night with them. Graham talks to Amanda and says that he didn't feel like lying. It's just that until he gets to know the person well, it's easier to remain a single guy than to be himself. Besides, Graham is afraid that a new woman might ruin the little idol in his family. Amanda says she understands him perfectly, especially since they will have to part in a week and the 2 worlds will never come together again. Meanwhile, Iris brings the mail to Arthur and sees him throw one of the letters away without even opening it. It turns out that one of the Directors Guilds wants to throw a party in his honor. Iris decides that with some training the man will be able to go on stage and spend an unforgettable evening with people who highly appreciate his work. To get Arthur back in shape, the heroine suggests working out in the pool to strengthen his muscles. Iris talks to Graham and Amanda on the phone, giving them information about each other. The heroine guesses everything and wants to yell at her brother. Unexpectedly, Miles arrives on the phone line. With him, Iris heads to the store to pick out Arthur's movie for the evening and is genuinely excited about how she's spending her time. Miles repeats tunes from popular movies, but then notices his girlfriend walking around with another man. The guy gets very upset and does not understand why he always chooses the wrong people. To support him, Iris talks about Jasper and their failed relationship, but brings herself to a very shaky state. Forgetting herself, Miles comforts her and realizes that the girl left her home to forget about the man who broke her heart. Meanwhile, Amanda continues to stay at home, but feels unwell due to Graham's absence. Iris continues to prepare Arthur for the meeting and chooses a suit for him. Amanda starts packing when Graham shows up at her door and kisses her without further ado. Miles composes a song for Arthur's entrance to the stage and admits that he has composed a melody for the heroine as well. Amanda and Graham are trying to decide how to be further and continue to meet at least sometimes. The girl believes that the continuation will only spoil what was between them, and therefore it is better to be happy with the weeks they spent together. However, Graham admits that he is in love with the girl, and all he longs for in his life is to be together with Amanda despite any barriers and distances. Instead of answering, The girl kisses him, enjoying their last night together. Iris and Miles have lunch and discuss Arthur's request to write the words to his music. However, the conversation is interrupted by a call from the guy's ex-girlfriend. The heroine is upset that the couple has reconciled, but she tries not to show it. Soon Iris is in for an even bigger surprise, because Jasper unexpectedly appears on the doorstep of her house. The man admits that he came for the heroine, because he finally began to appreciate her. At this time, Miles explains with his ex-girlfriend, and Amanda lies in bed, unable to sleep. Iris accidentally learns that Jasper is still engaged, and this opens her eyes. The heroine gains strength and informs the man that everything is over between them. Having dealt with this, Iris goes to get Arthur. The man decides to give the girl a gift, a bracelet with flowers, but worries that he is old-fashioned. Being touched, Iris thanks him from the bottom of her heart, and says that the surprise is wonderful. Together with the girl, Arthur appears at the event, and sees how many people appreciate his work. Iris and Miles agree to spend the new year in England. As Amanda leaves, she cries for the first time in years, and returns to Graham. At the end we see both couples celebrating New Year's Eve at the man's house. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.